DreAllDay.com.
Now tuned in to the show where you learn the discipline to show up day after day to do the work, the confidence to put yourself out there boldly and authentically, and the mental toughness to continue showing up, doing the work, putting yourself out there even when the success you've expected to achieve has yet to occur. And on top of all this, we're not done. You get a huge dose of personal initiative, which is the go-getter energy that moves any one of us, including yourself, to go and make things happen instead of waiting for things to happen. And then on top of all this, we put all this together into one bundle, one package, one framework, one method, one philosophy, one approach, several books, and this daily masterclass that is called Work on Your Game. My name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day, and welcome to the show. And today's topic is what to do when being good is not good enough. What do you do when you have already worked on your game? You have developed the skills. You have followed everything that Dre says in this masterclass that you listen to every day, yet and still, you are not getting the outcomes that you want. You are still not getting the results that you want. You are good. You know you have game. You know you can do the job. You know you can do the thing. If you don't know what the if is, you haven't been able to fill in that blank. What can you do in those moments? Challenging thing is you have this question. The good thing is you're listening to the man that has the answers. Now, before we get into this, let me tell you all that I have a text message line where I want you to text me. Tell me the best insight, the best idea, something you're going to think or do different based on what you heard here today. My number is 305-384-6894. Once you text me, or even if you don't have anything specific that you got from this one, you just want to get something that I send to my text community every day, it is my daily motivation text message. If you just want to get the daily motivation text, if nothing else, maybe you'll come up with something later on. Just text me anyway. My number again, 305-384-6894. I send that daily motivation text out to my community every single morning. So if you just want to get that, if nothing else, text me. Now let's get into this topic. What do you do when being good isn't good enough? You've done the work, you put the time in, you have paid your dues, or at least you paid enough of your dues that you think you should be getting some ROI here. You should be getting some return on investment at this point, but it's not quite happening. Is there anything that you can do? The answer is absolutely yes. What are those things? Get out your pen and pad, open up a new note document on your phone, because I'm gonna tell you exactly what to do now. Point number one, the topic once again, what to do when being good is not enough. First thing you need to do is step up your consistency. Now this one might not seem like, it may seem a little bit off the beaten path of what you might have been expecting, which is what you should expect is the unexpected here on the show. Understand something, folks, that when you are amongst the professionals, in the pros, everyone has skill, game, talent, know-how, experience, resources. Everyone has those things. So if you are good at what you do, listen, that's fine, but so is everybody else. Everybody has skill. Everybody has game. Everybody has talent. Everyone has maybe a track record of showing off that talent, skill, experience, know-how, game, etc. Everybody's got that. So skill alone is not going to separate you at the professional level. While skill is a requirement to be at the pro level, it will not separate you at the pro level. You need something more than skill. And that something is all from the neck up. Something that separates the best pros from the rest of the pros is mindset. It is mental. It is the way that you approach things psychologically that makes you different from all the other pros. How much of yourself are you willing to consistently bring to your performance to make you stand out? How consistent are you in the way that you show up? Can you be that good, that talent, that game, that skill that you have? Can you bring it every single day? Can you show up every single day and be one of the best? Now, we know that you're one of the best because you're a pro. So it's just by the fact that you're there, the fact that you had the job title, the fact that you're in the room, means something. It actually means a lot because you're already in the top percentage. Let's say the top 10%, 5%, 1%, depending on what job you have. You're already in the top percentile of everyone who actually does that thing because you're the pro. But understand, if you want to separate yourself from the people who are already in that top percentile, that's a psychological difference. That is not a skill difference. It's a decision difference. How you show up, how often you show up, can you bring your best effort on a consistent basis? At the pro level where everyone is good, listen closely, the consistency of being that good is what makes the difference. Can you be that good every single day? Listen, in the pros, folks, everybody has great days. Everybody has great moments. When you have that much talent and skill all in the same room, something great is somebody's going to do something impressive every day. Someone's going to do something impressive every day. The question is, can you do something impressive every day? Or can you do something impressive and then whatever that impressive level was, whatever that was that you did that was impressive, can you do that every day? Can you do it consistently? Can you do it all the time? Because if you can, then that means you are enacting the mindset that's called the third day. And if you're watching video, I'm holding a copy of that book. If you want to get a free copy of this book, I'll send you a copy, paperback book, if you just go to thirddaybook.com or just click the link that is down below in the description of this very episode. The third day is all about, you see the subtitle, the decision that separates the pros from the amateurs. What separates the pros from everybody else and the best pros from the rest of the pros is how consistently you bring your best. Not if you have a best, but how consistently you can bring that best. So the first thing you do when being good has not made you stand out enough is get your, whatever your best level of performance is, and then set a standard of being that good every single time. Now, that is a challenge, folks. I'm making this sound easy, and it sounds pretty simple when we're talking about it, and it sounds motivating and inspiring if you're the person who's in this position, who you feel like you're good, but is not giving you enough, returns right now. The challenge of actually being that good every single day is, again, it is 99% psychological. 99% how you choose to think about it, not what you're physically capable of. We already know you're physically capable of it because that's how you became a pro. We know you can do it. Question is, will you do it? I can't answer that, and neither can you, actually. You can't answer it in words. You can only answer that in actions. Point number 2. Today's topic, once again, is what to do when being good is not good enough. Second thing you can do is learn politics. Now, again, you probably weren't expecting this one. Learning politics. What do you mean, Dre? I'll tell you what I mean. Martin Luther King, back in the 60s, he told everybody about a dream that he had. The dream was that one day people will be judged by the content of their character rather than by the color of their skin, aka the cover of the book. You know how we say don't judge a book by its cover. Well, here's the thing. Martin Luther King is still dreaming. All right, he might be turning over in his grave these days. He's on a constant turn in his grave. He's just rotating in his grave right now. You know why? Because that ain't happening. All right, human beings, all of us, we still judge people by the color of their skin. We still judge books by their cover. We all do it, and everyone does it to us. Today, these days, we have social justice warriors who want equitable outcomes for everybody. They say if everyone is not getting the same outcomes, then there must be something wrong. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. I told you about social justice warriors sending people backwards in episode number 1630. I told you what black people could do with the social justice movement in episode 1618. I told you what white people could do to promote social justice if they really wanted to in episode 1632. Oh, you think they're already doing it? No, they're not. I'll tell you what they actually could do. That was episode 1632. So you listen to those episodes on your own time, maybe right after this one. But understand, the whole point is, they're saying something's wrong if everybody's not getting the same outcome, which doesn't actually make sense. They can all also keep dreaming. All right, they are dreaming same way Martin Luther King is dreaming. The fact is, everybody, life is a business. And I told you in episode number 1580 that business is not a meritocracy. Let me repeat that sentence. I told you that life is a business. It costs money to be born, to die, and in between. And in episode 1580, I told you that business is not a meritocracy. The definition of a meritocracy is people and power is accrues to people based on the basis of, rather, their ability. That's what a meritocracy means. That people get their outcomes and they get their results based on ability. In other words, the best performers are going to be at the top. The worst performers are going to be at the bottom. That is what a meritocracy means. All right? Life is not a meritocracy. Business is not a meritocracy. It's not a complete meritocracy. Now, are there some areas where the best performers are going to get the results? Of course. Sports being one of them. It's the closest thing to meritocracy that you're ever going to see. But the rest of life, other areas outside of sports, most of it is not a meritocracy. Now, yes, you do need to be good, but being good alone is not going to be enough. I mean, isn't that the very topic of today's episode? Being good is usually not enough. How many people listen to this right now, you think you are good enough to get better and more results than what you are getting right now in your life? I think most of the people listening to this show, who listen to this show every single day, that is one of the reasons why you listen, because you know that you are better than the results that you're getting. So being that is true, That should prove the point that business and life are not meritocracy, because if they were, then the whole order of things would be completely different than it is. All right, does everyone agree with me? If you disagree, send me a text, 305-384-6894, and tell me why. I might make a whole episode about your perspective. But wait a minute. All this being said, wait a minute. Wait a goddamn minute, Dre. Aren't you the guy who says that we're in a performance-based business? Aren't you the guy who says work on your game because the game is the most important thing about you? The answer is yes and yes to both of those. Performance-based business. All right, this is the key. These words matter. I told you that life is a performance-based business. Now, what do I mean? Why am I emphasizing that word based? Because your performance matters, but your performance is not the whole deal. Yes, the basis of it is your performance, but that ain't everything. There are very high level performers who still don't get the business. And there are mediocre performers who get a whole lot of business. Again, is there anyone who's listening to me who has seen either one? A great performer who's not getting the kind of business they should get, and average and mediocre and trash performers who are getting way more reward than they actually deserve based on how they perform. Any of you ever seen that? Has any of you ever experienced that? Is one of you one of those people? I'm sure the answer is yes to all of those. Politics, the reason why I'm telling you to step up your political game here, if being good hasn't been good enough for you, definition of politics means advancing or protecting your self-interest. That's it. That's politics. I'm not talking about politics like the government and running for office. Politics just means advancing and protecting your own self-interest. Is there anyone who's not interested in that? Ask yourself the following question. Do you always do business with the best possible option for everything that you do? Everything that you do you pick the best possible person available? Probably not. Now, you might think that you do. You might unconsciously tell yourself that, everything you're doing with the best possible person. Do you really? Probably not. All right. Every person that you ever hire, are they the best possible? Nah, they're not. Let me tell you what you actually do. We don't look that hard, first of all, to find the best possible person. It would take us too long to find everybody. And at some point, we got to make an arbitrary decision, because how do you know who's better than who? I mean, it eventually becomes a matter of opinion rather than a matter of objective analysis. What we do usually when we're choosing the best quote unquote option, we look at the people that we know of, the options that we are aware of, the things that we like and the things that we trust. We look for know, like, and trust. And if nobody knows you, then they can't even, you're not even part of the assessment process. And if people don't like you, then they're not going to consider you. And if people don't trust you, then even if you're great, they're not going to do any business with you. To get people to know, like, and trust you is politics. That is the very definition of politics. So all of us understand this concept of know, like, and trust. If you do not, then you need to learn about it. You want people to know who you are, be aware that you exist. You want people to like you, because if people don't like you, they will never do anything with you. Even if you're great at what you do, if they don't like you, they will not deal with you. And you want people to trust you, because if people don't trust you, then even if they on the surface can acknowledge and recognize you, they're not going to do anything with you if they don't trust you. Or you do things with people that you don't trust? No, you probably stay away from them. Even if you think they're great at what they do, you don't trust them, so you keep a distance from those individuals. So you want people to know, like, and trust you. And getting people to know, like, and trust you is politics. That's what politics is. So any of you who feels like you don't want to be political, or you don't like politics, or you don't like getting involved in all that back and forth, he said, she said, all right, that's not even what politics is. So if you've had this incorrect idea of what politics is, then that should probably clue you in to why you are terrible at politics, because you thought it was something that it's actually not. What politics is getting people to know, like, and trust you. And whatever you need to do to get people to know, like, and trust you within reason, within your code of ethics, you should be doing, because this is part of the game. This is part of the hustle. If you didn't know, now you know. To get people to know, like, and trust you, politics. Politics is not necessarily some dirty sport of being backstabbing and conniving and talking behind people's backs. I know that's what you have been socialized to think politics means. That is not what politics is. Politics means building, nurturing, and leveraging relationships that serve you. Let me repeat that. Politics is building, nurturing, and leveraging relationships to serve you. Now, in order to build, nurture, and leverage relationships and help yourself through those, you're probably gonna need to help other people, because nobody's gonna help you unless you're helping them. Why? Because nobody does something for nothing. No human being does. I don't care how charitable you think you are, you do not do things just for no reason. Even if you're trying to be nice. And being nice is there's a reason. There's a reason why you do things to be nice, because you want the reputation of being a nice person. Why? Because you can then leverage that reputation to get people to do nice things for you. So again, nobody does something for nothing. Even if you think you do things out of the kindness of your heart, or you're doing it out of the kindness of your heart. Why do you do that? Because you want people to think that you're a kind-hearted person. Why do you do that? So if people think you're a kind-hearted person, what's going to happen? They're going to look at you a certain way, and eventually you'll be able to trade on that kind-hearted reputation to get things for yourself. So again, nobody does something for nothing. Even if you think you are doing things for nothing, you are not. People who are political are people who understand how to leverage relationships that they built with other people in order to get things that they want. Because nothing wrong with wanting to get things that you want in life. And people who create power in their lives and do things for themselves, people who are very important, meaning they have a significant effect on success, all right, they can do nice things for themselves because they can create success for themselves and for others. This is not a bad thing, this is a good thing. So if you have been going through your life thinking that being political is bad, no wonder you haven't been getting the outcomes that you want, because you have basically been self-sabotaging because you don't want to be political. You need to be political. Okay? If you have, the more game you have, the more political you need to be, because the more you need to leverage that game in order through other people. You need to leverage that game through other folks. All right, unless you live out in the woods in a cabin by yourself with the bears and the deer, you're going to be dealing with human beings, and you need to learn how to deal with them. And dealing with them means being political. All right, you step out of the political game, politics is going to be used against you. So you might as well play the game, because the game is out there one way or another. Leverage those relationships to get your way. Name a successful person that you know who does not do this. Name one person. Name one successful person you know who does not leverage politics. I don't even need to give you time to think about it, because you can't. There is no successful person that you know of who does not leverage politics. They might not call it politics, but based on the definition and description that I just gave you, there is no one you can name who does not do this. Everybody plays the game. And guess what? I got a full masterclass coming on this topic soon. You know what I mean when I say soon, right? Point number 3. Today's topic, once again, is what to do when being good is not good enough. Number 3, play a different game. All right, there is no rule or law that says that the thing that you've been being good at and is not working for you, there is no law that says you need to keep banging your head up against the concrete and trying to make it work. All right, only idiots do that. Now, I know maybe your favorite motivational speaker told you that you gotta keep going at it and just keep running into it, and how bad do you want it, and when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe. Listen, I get it, and it's motivational, it's inspirational, and it gets you all hyped up, but at the same time, I also believe in intelligence. Sometimes in life, you're just playing the wrong game. Sometimes things are not working for you because you are following the wrong rules, and you've been following them for too long, and you're following them in the wrong way. And I got a masterclass coming on this as well. We had some masterclasses where I've talked about rules already, most specifically and most recently in episode number 1891. I told you don't break the law, but do break the rules. In episode number 1655, I told you 5 rules that I would give to myself 20 years ago. If I was to go back 20 years, here are 5 rules that I would give myself to follow. In episode number 1360, the rules are not the same for everyone. That is a really important masterclass to listen to. Episode number 268, I told you the rules of high activity. Understand, sometimes you're just playing by the wrong rules. Sometimes you're following rules that you don't need to be following anymore. Rules are arbitrary and man-made. So either break the rules or play a game at which those rules that are not working for you, which those rules just don't apply anymore. You got a choice. But sometimes in life, you can't just keep following rules because it's not going to produce the outcomes that you want. How do you know? Look at what you're doing right now and the rules that you're following right now, and ask yourself, if I keep following these same rules and doing these same things for the next 5 years, will it get me where I want to go? If you don't like that answer, then that means you are playing by the wrong rules or you're playing the wrong game. 50 Cent, who was a person that I profiled in my Virtual Mentors episode number 3. That was episode number 316. Here's how he broke the rules. He pirated his own music and he started giving it away for free. Those of you old enough to remember the 50 Cent / G-Unit movement that was happening. It was a movement that was around the early 2000s, around 2002 going into 2003. 50 Cent took songs that other people had already made. He grabbed the instrumentals and then he would make raps, his own raps. He would basically make his own songs. He wasn't just rapping, he made songs out of other people's songs, and then he put them on mixtapes and gave the mixtapes away for free. And there were bootleg mixtape people, bootleggers, selling 50 Cent mixtapes, and people made a lot of money selling bootleg 50 Cent mixtapes in the early 2000s. 50 Cent didn't even care about making money off them because he just wanted to get a buzz. He wanted people to know who he was. He created such a big buzz around his name, he went and got $1 million record deal based on the popularity of mixtapes that he wasn't even making money off of. And then he made a whole bunch of money off of his actual album, which came out under Eminem and Dr. Dre in the early 2000s, which I'm sure most of you know what I'm talking about, even if you don't listen to 50 Cent. What did he do though? The reason I'm bringing him up, because he broke the rules. At that time, those of you who remember, record labels were giving everything that they had. They were putting all of their resources into the exact opposite of what 50 Cent was doing. They were trying to stop bootleggers and street hustlers from selling pirated music. They were trying to block everybody from downloading music on the internet, stop companies like Napster and Kazaa, and y'all remember those websites where you could go download songs, and there used to be a whole hustle to try to figure out how to download music off the internet. And record labels were even sending authorities out and letters and cease and desist and lawsuits to block people like you and I from downloading music for free on the internet. 50 Cent did the exact opposite and wanted his music to get downloaded for free, and he leveraged that, the exact breaking of the rule, in order to get himself popular and made himself money, and he get rich or die trying, which is exactly what he did. So he broke the rules, even though they were trying to stop him from doing that very thing. Not him specifically, but they were trying to stop the very thing that 50 Cent leveraged. Donald Trump, when he went to run for president, he took all the norms of political discourse, threw all of them out the window, and he leveraged that and actually won the presidency. Steve Jobs, for Apple at the time when he came back, Steve Jobs actually started Apple, got kicked out of his own company. They became a corporation. He got kicked out of his own company, went and did some other things, came back to the company. The company was about 90 days from insolvency. In other words, they were about to go bankrupt and be out of business. He reduced Apple's product line down from all these products that they had down to 4 products: 1 desktop computer and 1 laptop computer, 2 for the professional side and 2 for the consumer side. And he saved Apple's ass, because we now have Apple. All right, we got the iPhones now, we got the tablets, we got the computers. All right, they have basically reduced it down to pretty much 3 things now. Apple got a lot of other smaller products, but that's basically 3 things, and it's really 1 thing. Apple makes most of their money off the phone. All 3 of these guys played a different game, broke the rules, and created a whole new framework that now a whole bunch of other people are going to follow after them or already have. The whole point is they played a different game. They did not keep playing the game the way it was already being played. They did things differently, and even if people didn't agree with them, it worked. And sometimes in life, we got to look at the results, because not only is it a performance-based business, it's a results-based business. Let's recap today's class, which is what to do when being good is not good enough. Number 1, step up your consistency. At the professional level, it is not just about what you are capable of, what your peak potential is, because everybody has a high level of peak potential. What really makes you great at the pro level is what is your potential, and can you reach that level of potential over and over again? How high can you get on a consistent basis? That's what you get paid for, what you're consistently doing, not what you can do once. Number 2, learn politics. Martin Luther King said he had a dream that we will judge people not by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Martin is still dreaming, because that is not happening. All right, these days, understand life is a business. It always has been, always will be. In episode 1580, I told you business is not a meritocracy. Meritocracy is where everything is based on people's abilities. That is not how it is. Even though I'm the work on your game guy who says this is a performance-based business, but it is performance-based, meaning that is a baseline of it, but that is not the whole game. Politics means advancing or protecting your self-interest. I got a whole masterclass on this topic. You got to learn how to leverage other people and let other people leverage you too. All right, it's not just you using them. Let them use you. Name a successful person you know who does not do this. There aren't any. There's a full masterclass coming on this topic very soon. Point number 3, play a different game. Sometimes things aren't working because you are following the rules too much. Rules are arbitrary. They are man-made. Sometimes you either got to break the rules or you got to play a game in which the rules just don't apply. 50 Cent broke the rules. Donald Trump broke the rules. Steve Jobs broke the rules. All 3 of them played a different game and created a new framework that not only worked for them, but allowed other people to follow and model their framework and create success for themselves. So sometimes in life, You just got to stop following the rules so much. So when you are doing your thing and being good has just not worked for you, I just gave you a blueprint on exactly what to do different. If you're looking for someone who can help you, if you're the type of person who knows that you're good, you know that you're good at what you do, and you had a potential to be better than even good, but maybe great, maybe legendary at what you do, but you need someone who can help hold you accountable, help you create a framework and a strategy for making the most of your abilities and getting your game out into the world, you may be a great candidate to work with me directly. And my 3rd Day Mastermind is the only place that I do direct one-on-one coaching. If you're interested, go to workonyourgameuniversity.com, click the button that says join the mastermind. You'll fill out a quick form. We'll get on a Zoom call, talk about where you're at, where you want to go, and how I can help you get there. That is the only place, again, that I offer one-on-one coaching. That link is also down below in the show description. Send me a text. Tell me the best insight you got from today's class. My number is 305-384-6894, and you'll get my daily motivation text. Work on your game. Dre all day.